The rebound of the world's markets, as this week began, is far from reassuring, experts warn. Across the Atlantic, the US and EU each say the other should hurry up and pull itself together, or else. In a tit-for-tat fear game, there are elections involved on both sides.
So they're going through a financial crisis that is scaring the world, and they're trying to take responsible actions, but those actions haven't been quite as quick as they need to be.
Barack Obama is already re-election campaigning, and several European countries are heating up for elections, for instance Spain, France, Germany and Italy. Admitting a share of responsibility for the debt crisis isn't anyone's idea of campaign winning. In all these countries mentioned, public surveys aren't looking good for the governments currently ruling the roost. Another thing the Americans and Europeans have in common is that their public debts are out on a ledge without a safety net, internationally exposed, each with portions of public debt held by foreign banks. Even Greece is scary because if it defaults, banks all over could feel the shockwaves. Look at the US lending and debt links with Europe. No wonder each side wants the other to put its houses in order, and why EU countries of varying good housekeeping skills want each other to prove their mettle. Of course, with national sovereign debts in the hands of the banks, it's not surprising that their sector is under pressure from speculators. The credit rating agencies have played a huge part in making the markets and politicians very nervous, projecting their views of whole countries' borrowing worthiness. Voices in Europe have accused them of seeking to influence policies and thus support the dollar, even after the agencies demonstrated weak credibility not predicting the subprime's collapse. But still, the US says Eurozone countries lack the courage to raise taxes and slash spending. This Nobel laureate says steady on.
If you actually look at actual actions as opposed to rhetoric, there's not that much difference between the United States and Europe. And so in terms of the actual policy, there's convergence, unfortunately convergence on the wrong things. Fiscal austerity, hard money, but the results will be disastrous on both sides of the Atlantic.
The president of the Eurogroup of finance ministers, Jean-Claude Juncker, responded to American critiques saying it wasn't out-of-work Greeks who brought down Lehman Brothers, reminding Obama on what side of the ocean the cracks first started to appear.